That finish line feeling. Nothing quite like it, is there?
If you're taking any photos,
38.22. Woo!
well done.
Qualifying for the first time England Masters 10K is a great achievement. But how did I get there?
Have a good one.
Here we go.
Good luck. Have a good look.
Well, I qualified at the North Lakes 10K in January in the beautiful Lake District area near Cockermouth. But this journey started long before then. No, not back to my childhood. Not that far back. It was back in summer 2022. I was looking forward to a summer of running, having completed a number of half marathons, including Tewkesbury, Leamington Spa and the Birmingham Black Country Half Marathon, winning my age category in all of those 3 races. I was then looking forward to a summer of training to aim for a sub-3 marathon at London Marathon and a new Guinness World Record dressed as a hospital patient. Yes, you heard that correctly, a hospital patient. But as fate would have it, at the beginning of July, I would end up in hospital. No, not an accident, but an operation I had been waiting for a few years. Gallstone removal, which meant removal of my gallbladder. That, along with a trip to A&E, took me out of running for 5 whole weeks, with short walks being a struggle also. I knew that sub-3 marathon was out of the window, so I wanted a longer term goal I could aim for by the end of the year. So I set my sights, and lofty sights they were too, for an England Masters 10K qualifying. Yeah, never done that before. I had qualified for England Masters at marathon distance twice before, but not at the shorter distance of 10K. So I signed up for the Telford 10K whilst I restarted my training for London Marathon. Now the Telford 10K wasn't until December, so the remaining week's training were for London with one eye on Telford 10K. So whilst there was no sub-3, I was ecstatic getting the world record, albeit by only 40 seconds. I could now focus on the 10K race. So on the 10th of October, 8 days after London Marathon, I started 10 weeks of training towards the Telford 10K, where I followed the Faster Road Racing book, which had a plan at the back of the book by Pete Feisinger and Philip Latter. It's a book that any of you can go out and buy on Amazon. It's all there, the plans are all there, and that's what I followed. So as any good YouTuber does, I started a training series 5 weeks out from race day called the Fast and Furious 10K series, where I would log the progress of each of my weeks as they progressed. The training was progressing well until the big chill arrived about 10 days from race day. Minus 11 Celsius on some days made the runs feel so cold on chest, and forecast of snow on race week didn't help. But by some short miracle, race day went ahead, albeit I had to drive through a snowstorm to get there. Yes, I know. You can't make this up, can you? Having seen the qualifying times at Leeds Abbey Dash 10K, for my age group, it was around 35 minutes. So I needed to fly around Telford to come in the top 3 of a qualifying that field. Yes, it's only the top 3 of each age group that can qualify for England Masters. So after getting through the snowstorm, finding the start, it was great bumping into so many amazing people before the race. So the race started well. We went off at a gallop. But I felt very laboured. And to add to the drama, it started to snow during the race, which apparently was the first time in its history that it snowed during the race. Who'd believe that? You know, December, Britain, surely there would have been snow on race day before, but no, this is the first time ever snow arrived. So I was so happy with my performance, coming in with a lifetime personal best of 37 minutes and 48 seconds. In sixth position of my age group, about 90 seconds behind the first place of Dave Walmsley. So sadly, I missed out on my top 3 place England qualifying. But I was happy with the time, but disappointed with the results. But I was still determined to qualify with 2 remaining races. Those 2 remaining qualifying races was the Lake District 10K and a London 10K. So you're probably wondering why, how. Irrespective of how I decided, I entered the North Lakes 10K for one last roll of the dice to see if I could qualify for England Masters. Sadly, I'd picked up a bug post Telford 10K, probably from running in the snow and freezing conditions, but also I think there was a bit, as I felt so laboured during the Telford 10K, I think there was probably a bit of a bug brewing inside me before that anyway. At this point, I wasn't following any plans after I'd finished a 10K and was mindful of wanting to overcome my illness. So with Christmas and New Year passing, race day arrived very quickly with a 10-hour round trip of over 500 miles and again having to deal with freezing conditions and ice on the roads on race day morning. But I was determined to do my best. That race was naturally undulating in the Lake District, and I struggled to hold a quick pace with a tight chest, but was delighted with my first place age group win and knowing I'd qualified for my first England Masters 10K. So onwards and upwards, and I hope you enjoy my next 2 videos in this short series of the Chester 10K race day vlog and the whole race video with my GoPro, of course. Yes, it's always with me. So thank you so much for watching and listening to the first part of this 3-part series of how, what, how I done. Who, what, where, how? You know what I mean. England Masters, Chester 10K. What an epic race it was, and what amazing experience that I would thoroughly recommend to everybody who's watching, listening to this video.
Well done, everybody. Really, really good running. If you're taking any photos,
38:22. Woo!
Well done.